Welcome back to the Peg+Cat Summer Camp. I am so glad you could join us for day 3 of our summer camp activities. First, we always need to check on those vegetables. Did you check on the plants that you planted? Have they grown at all? Did you water them? I made sure to water mine this morning and check them out. They are starting to get little tiny sprouts, so see if you're getting little tiny sprouts yet. So on our last day of activities, we had to build a ladder to get Cat and everybody out of that big tree. How did we do that? Well, we used wood sticks and we put them together, but we needed to know horizontal and vertical. If you remember, horizontal means straight across without tilting, and vertical means up and down without tilting. We also help the animals to get into their inner tubes so they could go to the lake on a hot day. And we learned a bit about some objects that sink and float. So today we will be using scrap paper. We will be using markers or crayons. We will need tape. And if you go to the Peg+Cat resources, you will see shape cards. So we need to use these shape cards. Some of you may have blocks at home. I don't have blocks at home. Blocks would be really good to use for today. So I'm going to direct you to use blocks at a certain point in time, and then you can pause the video and you can try to build things with blocks. But I'm not going to show you how to do that because I don't have blocks at my house. You will also need newspaper to protect the surface that you're working on. You're going to need a cup filled with water, a paper plate to put paint on, and you will need 3 colors of paint, blue, yellow, and red. These are primary colors, so you're definitely going to need these. You won't need any other colors. You'll, of course, need a paintbrush, and there are a few resources that you're going to need to print off. So we have a color mixing sheet. There is also a tangram barn that we're going to be using. If you have tangrams at home, which are just play shapes, plastic shapes, you can please go ahead and use those. Those are the best thing to use. But if you don't have tangrams at home, like I don't have tangrams at home, what I did was I printed off 2 sheets of the tangram barn, and then I just cut the pieces out. So that works really well too. And the last thing you'll need is this black and white color painting sheet of the barn. And of course, we need our farm poster because we work on that every day to celebrate our accomplishments. Remember, these activities are modified so you can do them at home, and they are the easiest ones to do at home, so there are more activities in the lesson plan. So if you want to do more activities, you can look at the lesson plan. You can always just follow along with me, but you are encouraged to do the activities yourself. What are some shapes that you know? We're going to be working with shapes and colors today, so we need to learn what we know first. So I know a circle. I know a rectangle. I also know triangles and squares. Are there some shapes that you know? Adult helpers, at this point, please pause the video and take a quick art break. When they're all done with their art, then you can start this video again. All right, campers, keep in mind those shapes that you drew. And we're going to meet Peg and some of her friends and learn what shapes that they know. And they're going to tell you what they know about shapes. So at this time, adult helpers, please pause this video and click on the Pentagirls video link in the description. Since you know all about different shapes now, it's time for you to go on a shape scavenger hunt throughout your house. So look for things like this paper plate that is a circle. And I know it's a circle because it doesn't have any angles or sides. Look for things, oh, I could even say a newspaper is a rectangle. So the way it's folded right now, it looks like a rectangle because it has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, 4 angles, and opposite sides are the same length. So look for things in your house. You can use your scrap paper that you drew on to either draw the things you find, or you can try to write them down too. So at this time, pause the video again, and you're going to go on a shape scavenger hunt through your house. Campers, while you were out at your scavenger hunt, I got some terrible news. We've got a really big problem. The farmer's getting more animals, but he has nowhere to put them. Let's see what Peg and Cat have done to help the farmer with a problem like this before. So adult helpers, pause the video again and click on the Help the Farmer video link in the description. So the farmer needs to build a new barn for the animals he's adding to his farm. He needs our help to construct it. Construct means to build. How can we build the barn if we don't know what shapes fit well with each other? Well, what did Peg and Cat look for when they needed to help the farmer finish building the stage? They looked at the pattern they needed to fill, and then they found the shape to fill it. I think before we build this barn, we're going to need some more practice with shapes. So let's use these Peg+Cat shape cards to help us. So adult helpers, you can find these cards in the lesson plan for day 3 on the Peg+Cat Camp page on PBS Learning Media. So you can cut them out and use at home. But again, you can always just follow along with me. So my shape cards, I'm going to tilt you down so you can see my shape cards. My shape cards are a little mismatched right now. So we need to find all the different shapes and match them together. There are circles, squares, triangles, diamonds, ovals, stars, and octagons. Uh-oh, I don't really remember how many sides an octagon has and what it looks like. Well, I do know that the chickens are on the octagon card, so I see some chickens right here. And let's count the sides of the octagon. So this is what the octagon looks like. So we have 1, and I like to leave my finger where I started so I don't lose track of how many places I am or how many sides I've counted. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So an octagon has 8 sides. It's a shape with 8 sides. So I have 1 chicken with octagon chickens. And I found another one, so there's a match. So I'm going to match those and put those to the side. Now the teens are on a square. A square has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and all the sides are the same length. So let's see if we can find another square. Do you see one? Oh, I found one right here. Here's a square. So square and square, and the pictures match. I'm going to put those together and put them to the side. Let's do an oval. Cat is in the oval. An oval kind of looks like an egg. So it's kind of like a circle, except if somebody took a circle on top and stretched it out. So we need to find another cat picture. Do you see one? Oh, I see one right by here. So we have 2 ovals. Those are a match, so we put them to the side. Let's do a triangle. Triangle with a picture of the pig in it. Triangles have 1, 2, 3 sides. So we're looking for a picture of the pig, and a shape with 3 sides. You see one? I see one right here. So we have a match. Take those together, put them to the side. Richard is in a rectangle for Richard. Now I know a rectangle has opposite sides that are the same length. And it kind of looks like a square too, except it was stretched out. So all the opposite sides are the same length. So let's see if we can find a card like that to get a match. Here's one right here. So we have a rectangle with Richard in it and another Richard rectangle over here. So that's a match. Peg is in a circle. So Peg has no sides in her shape. So we need to find another circle. Do you see a picture of Peg anywhere? I do right here. So there's a match. Peg in a circle and Peg in a circle, because a circle has no sides. All right, the last match we're going to do. I know there's a lot of cards here, but we only have one more shape to go. I'm sorry, we have two more shapes to go. So we have a star with Ramon in it, and a star has 1, 2, 3. Oh, I forgot to put my finger. That way I know where I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stars have 10 sides. Let's look for another one. Do you see one? Here's one right here. So we have star and star. That's a match. The last one is a diamond, and a diamond has the farmer in it. So a diamond kind of looks like if you took a square and tilted it on its side. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Do you see another diamond anywhere? Here's one right here. So that's a match. So we found all the shapes that we needed to. I'm going to tilt you back up. Excellent. Good job helping with matching. And very good job learning about all the different shapes and how many sides they are. So now that we've practiced with our shapes, it's time to build the barn for the farmer. The farmer gave us a blueprint, which is a building plan for the building or for the new barn. This is how people who construct buildings, remember construct means to build, are able to put the pieces of the building together so it's nice and strong so people can use that building. So that's what a blueprint is. Some of you at home may have tangrams like I described. Again, if you don't have them, just print off the tangram barn twice and cut out some of the shapes. So we need our barn blueprint. So here's our barn blueprint. What kind of shapes do you see in our barn blueprint? I see triangles of different sizes. So I have big triangles and I have littler triangles. I also see squares, and I also see something that's a little bit different. This is a shape we haven't really talked about, and I'm going to tell you what its name is. It's called a rhombus. Can you say rhombus? Yeah, that's a pretty tricky word. How are the pieces we're using to make a barn? So if you're using paper tangrams or real tangrams, how are they different from that a construction worker or an architect may use? An architect is somebody who makes the building plan or blueprint. So when the farmer told us and gave this to us to know how to build his barn, he was the architect. He was the one who designed the building. So how is our design and what we're using different than what a real builder or architect would use? Well, I noticed that I can't walk into this building. This is flat. It's a sheet of paper. It is flat. We call this two-dimensional. This is a two-dimensional building. Flat shapes are called two-dimensional shapes. Shapes that aren't flat, like blocks or bricks that are used to build buildings and construct buildings, are called three-dimensional. So we have two-dimensional and three-dimensional shapes. These shapes are also called solid shapes. They're called solid shapes. They have a height. They have a width, how wide they are, and they have a length. Peg's friend Roxanne loves solid shapes. So let's check in with Peg, Cat, and Roxanne to learn more about solid shapes. Adult helpers, pause this video and click on the Roxanne Loves Solid Shapes video link in the description. So two-dimensional shapes, or flat shapes, are different than three-dimensional or solid shapes, because solid shapes have a height, a length, and a width, how wide they are. So we need to build our two-dimensional or flat barn now. So I'm going to tilt you down a bit. So here's our barn. I need to use my tangrams to make this barn. Do you remember what this funny shape was called? A rhombus. A rhombus. So we need to match our rhombus, and I think this goes right here. That matches perfectly. How about this shape? I see 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and they're all the same length. That's a square. We need to find where the square is. I see the square right here, and that matches. What's this shape? Well, it has 1, 2, 3 sides. I know 3 sides makes a triangle, so this is a triangle. Well, I see a triangle down here. Does that match? No, that doesn't really match. I need to find a triangle that's the right size. Let's try this one up here. That matches. How about this one? That's another triangle again because it has 1, 2, 3 sides. So I have another triangle down here. Does that match? Is that the same size? No, let's try this other triangle. That one fits perfectly. Now this is a smaller triangle. I think I know where this one goes. This one goes down here. Then there's the same. So that one goes on the other side. Then I have one more left. There's only one spot it could go. There we go. Now we've made our flat or two-dimensional barn using the blueprint that was given to us by the farmer. Nicely done. So now if you have building blocks at home, see if you can make a three-dimensional barn that matches our two-dimensional or flat barn. The farmer would like the barn to be red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. But we only have red, blue, and yellow. We've got a really big problem. How can we make the other colors? Let's try to just work with what we have. Well, I know I have red, blue, and yellow. We still need orange, green, and purple. Using your color mixing sheet in the colors, you're going to try to mix these colors to see what they make. So let's first try red and yellow. So I have red, and remember to dip your brush in water every single time to get the color off. So I have red and yellow. Let's see what happens when I mix the red and yellow. That gave me orange. So now we have orange. So the other colors that we need are green and purple. Let's see what happens when I mix red and blue. So here's blue. And let me get some red. What color did that make? That looks like purple to me. Now the last one we have is, let's try mixing blue. And yellow. And blue and yellow look like they make green. So orange, purple, and green. So now we have all the colors that we need to paint the barn. So we need to use what we know about colors now, that red and yellow make orange, red and blue make purple, and blue and yellow make green to make the colors of our barn. So at this point in time, pause the video, mix some of your colors so that you can get all of these colors so that we can paint our barn next. So now I made my colors. I mixed blue and yellow to get green. I mixed red and yellow to get orange. And I mixed blue and red to get purple. So I'm going to start painting now. I'm going to start with the door. And I'm going to paint the door orange. So there we go. There's my barn. I love the colors I used, and I used every single color that the farmer wanted. So take this time to paint your barn, and when you're all done, if you're proud of it, I like to put things I'm proud of on my fridge. So if you want, with an adult's help, you can put your picture that you painted up on the fridge. So get painting, time for an art break. The last thing we need to do for the farmer's barn is to put a flag on top of the barn. But what does that mean, to put a flag on top of the barn? I think Peg and Cat might know the answer, so let's check in with them at the farm. Adult helpers, please pause this video and click on the chickens on the bus video link in the description. Okay, I think I get it now. Let's try it out. So these are my friends Stinky Skunk, who you've met before, and a new friend, Turtle. They're going to be my helpers. Is Stinky on top of or underneath Turtle? He's on top of Turtle's shell. Now let's put Stinky in front of Turtle. Is he in the front? That doesn't look right. He needs to be in front of Turtle. He looks like he's behind. Perfect. Now we have Stinky Skunk in front of Turtle and Turtle behind. I wouldn't want to be behind Stinky Skunk though. So let's switch this. Let's put Turtle in front and Stinky behind. So Turtle is now in front of Stinky Skunk. Thanks, guys, for helping me out. So let's go back to our barn. Think about the barn. Why do you think the farmer wants the flag on top of the barn? So the flag should be going on the very tippy top of the barn. Why do you think the farmer wants that? What would a flag do? Maybe it would let him see the barn from far away so he knows exactly where it is if he's out traveling somewhere. Maybe he has something he wants to show his neighbors. Think of some reasons why you would want to put a flag on top of something. I think that maybe if the farmer is out in the field and he needs to know where he is or where the barn is, the flag is going to help him to know exactly where he is and how he can get home. Okay, campers, I think we are all done with the barn. The farmer is happy. We have the flag on top. It's colored. It's built. Good job today, campers. We did a lot of hard work and solved a lot of really big problems. So remember, every day we celebrate our accomplishments by adding to our poster. Today, we're adding the barn and the flag on top of the barn. So there is a blue and a red flag. You can choose whichever one you want. I put the flag, remember, on top of the barn, and my barn's right here. That's it for today. Remember to read every day, play outside, and solve those really big problems. See you next time.